conversation, these days whenever there is a conversation on China, it kind of starts like this. It starts about how powerful China is. It talks about the great economic impact China has on the world. It talks about the trillions of dollars of trade exchange between United States and China. And it ends right there. It ends right there. Well, today, I have some numbers for you. Numbers that are significant, numbers that matter, numbers that represent human lives, human rights. 1.6 million. That's the number of Tibetans that have died since 1959. 6,000. That's the number of monasteries that have been destroyed since 1959. 26. That's the number of Tibetans that have self-immolated since 2009. 18. That's the number of Tibetans that have died since 2009, self-immolating themselves. 17. That's how old Kesa Wonchu was. Kesa Wonchula, the monk from Kirti Monastery. That's the youngest Tibetan who self-immolated since 1959. On October 2011, he self-immolated. That's the number that needs to be talked about. That's the number that needs to be mentioned when the people of the world discuss China and human rights. 53! That's the number of years we have been in exile. 53 times! That's the number of times we have commemorating the Tibetan National Uprising Day, March 10, 1959. Every year we gather. 53 years we've been in exile because of Chinese government's illegal occupation in Tibet. Today, March 10, 1959, is the day when Tibetans stood up against the mighty Chinese army. They rose up, they fought, they sacrificed their lives. March 10, 1959. Today we honor them, we commemorate their lives. This day is for those brave Tibetans, our powers and Brahmins in Tibet. This day is for them. It has been over 50 years since the illegal occupation of Tibet. Over the years, the world has seen many changes. We have seen the rise of democracy all throughout the world, and we have seen the fall of nations like Russia and Egypt and Tunisia. Change is happening all across the world today. Some say China is so powerful, they've got such a huge economic impact, they have a huge military, but they said the same thing about Russia. And we know what the state of Russia is today. Folks, we got nothing to fear. The will of the Tibetan people inside Tibet is stronger than ever today. These days, the Chinese live in fear. The Chinese live in fear inside Tibet. They're afraid when the next Tibetan is going to self-immolate. They're afraid of another 1959. They're afraid of a 2008. They're afraid of a 1989. The Chinese are living in fear. So, no matter how hard the Chinese try to oppress our people, no matter what tactics they use, there is only one solution to this problem. Tibet must be free, and we must welcome His Holiness the Dalai Lama back to Tibet. That is the solution to this problem. This is not going to be easy, folks. We are fighting for the freedom of a nation, and its people, its culture, its religion, and its way of life. Tibetans inside Tibet have made it clear. They don't want to live under the Chinese rule. They want the return of His Holiness the Dalai Lama back to Lhasa, the capital of Tibet. They want freedom inside Tibet. They want independence for Tibet. We have to make sure that these sacrifices are not in vain. We have to make sure to amplify the voices of inside Tibet. That is our duty as responsible Tibetans living in exile. Today, I want to thank the Mayor Coleman of the city of St. Paul. I also want to thank the Mayor Ryback of the city of Minneapolis for proclaiming today's 10th as Tibet Day and recognizing our Tibetan community. But I want to say to our leaders that there is more work to be done. We are not at the finish line yet. There is more work to be done. And we need your support more than ever. We need you to call out the leaders in Beijing. We need you to call out the leaders of the United Nations. And we need you to hold them accountable for the human rights abuses inside Tibet and the crackdown inside Tibet. Lastly, I want to throw out another number there, and that is 18. 18 is the number of days 3 Tibetans have been on indefinite hunger strike outside the United Nations building in New York. 3 Tibetans on a hunger strike for 18 days was without food. They are dying on the steps of the United Nations for Tibet, and yet the United Nations remain silent. So today, I want to end by saying the United Nations and the leaders of the world must act now and must act soon, or you become what the Chinese are, responsible for the death of 1.6 million Tibetans. Thank you. Thank you.